Oops, I forgot. Hang on. Hi guys, welcome to Football Brownie Late Night Q&A. I wasn't going to do one, but I thought, you know what? Why not? Why not? The channel's been quite busy today. Hope you enjoyed all the content. If you haven't seen it, go back. Not just today, go back yesterday as well. The amount of fantastic feedback I had with that, with the chat I had with Warren Barton was, was heartwarming. I'll be honest with you, many people say it was my best interview yet. Warren, I think because he's in the media now, great to talk to. And that Gary Speed segment was special. As a Welshman, it was special. Anyway, it's been quite a quite interesting day for the channel as well, especially in the evening. Right? Let's just anyway, let's go into the chat first before anyone else. Anyway, hang on. Before we go and chat, welcome to Football Brownie. Hope you're well, keeping safe, keeping each other safe, spreading the love. I can hear you all saying it. Spreading the love in this big bad world of ours. Before we go any further, please like, share, most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Remember, subscription is free. If you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button. And make sure you done that notification bell. Make sure you done the notification bell. I'm sick to death of telling you guys. Okay, new channel figures are above. And first one is actually a new subscriber, Eric. I think he's from America, LA, if I'm not mistaken. Welcome to the madhouse, Eric. The Q&A, anything goes. It is, I have to state, it is 18 and over kind of show. Okay, so if you don't like adult kind of adult material, adult comment, maybe the Q&A is not for you. But welcome to the madhouse, Eric. And there you go. Steve Denham. Hey, Brownie, you got slapped by Laura Woods, allegedly. Right. Hang on. Right. Let's get this out there right now, yeah? Because I done the upload, okay? The show actually was not this morning, but yesterday morning. And majority of the media in the UK jumped on it. She actually responded in the media or along her social media platform before I even done that video. Okay? Now, I tell you what, I think the best bet, because many people still haven't seen this video because, I've done so much content today. So I'm going to screen share it and we're going to watch a video together. You are going to decide, or you're going to, let me know what you think, and I'll tell you what I think. And remember, I'm going to come from the position of a former cocaine user. Okay? Remember that. So let's screen share. Boom, boom, boom. Right. Let's go. Hi guys, welcome to Football Brownie. Hope you're well, keeping safe, keeping each other safe, and spreading love in this big bad world of ours. Before we go any further, please like, share, most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Remember, subscription is free. If you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button right now. Don't forget the notification bell. Okay, Talk Sport and the lovely Laura Woods was hosting the breakfast show this morning. And the breakfast show is now live on YouTube. And it looks like she continued partying from last night into this morning. it is alleged. Alleged, I say. But there was something lined up on a table in front of her. I say alleged. Now, with a hooter like this, I've indulged in the past. But at a place of work, when you're live on a show, in front of millions, bloody hell, Laura Woods likes taking a risk or two.
Stones played in his normal position out of that back four. But I just think the fundamentals they didn't do well. They pressed individually, giving the ball away cheap play. They couldn't pass the ball 5-10 times during the first half. And you have to credit Liverpool. I thought they were excellent. They came out. I think there was a bit of fear with the players.
And for people who didn't see that, well, just close up a bit.
But I just think the fundamentals they didn't do well. They pressed individually, giving the ball away cheap play. They couldn't pass the ball 5-10 times during the first half. And you have to credit Liverpool. I thought they were excellent. They came out. I think there was a bit of fear with John Stones playing in his name.
Okay. Whoa, let's knock that off. There you go. Okay, let's get my partner in crime tonight. I Stan. You really didn't want to stand, did you? You really didn't want to tonight. Hang on. You're muted. Refresh. Oh, you want? There you go.
How's that?
Wow.
Better?
Bit low, but go on.
Better?
Yeah, better. Right.
So do I need to have my legal team on standby coming on here or what?
Yeah, hey, I've seen your legal team before with a Spanish coach, my friend. They fucking useless.
I told you I paid that bar tab. I keep telling you. I paid it. So how are you?
I'm very well, and yourself?
Yeah, not bad. It's
from Toronto.
It's Vancouver. Lovely weather today in Vancouver this afternoon. It's just coming up for 2:30, and it's a lovely day outside. I was actually going to do this from the balcony, but I didn't have time.
Well, no comment. Balconies, fucking. What's the weather like over there at the moment then?
Well, we've just got a lovely day of sunshine, so I'm hoping that we've had some nice summers in the 3 years that I've been over here. We've had some lovely weather in the summer, and I think it's just starting to kick off today. So get the old cargo pants out, get the old legs out. That kind of weather.
Stan, we spoke about it before you agreed to come on a show. You've seen the video, right?
I didn't see the video.
Oh, right, okay. Do you want me to play it again?
If you want, your show, mate.
Oh, we play it again, right? Hang on, I'll have to bloody load it up now again. Stan, you're in Canada, aren't you? So what's the vibe like with Canada qualifying for a World Cup in the meantime?
Oh yeah, they're really happy about that over here. Obviously, do you know what I mean? It's a big deal. My local team's the Vancouver Whitecaps. I've never gone down to see any of the games, especially because we had the lockdown kick in, so that restricted everything. But yeah, they're really made up about getting into the World Cup. Obviously, they've got a couple of good players that are coming through that are beginning to get noticed in Europe. Obviously, everyone knows a little bit about Alphonso Davies, who plays as a fullback, and then you've got Jonathan David, who plays in France. So I think even Arsenal were looking at, who I reckon will be coming over.
Yeah, you've always wanted him. You've always fancied him, Stan.
Well, he was a good old Canadian kid, right? I'd like to see a Canadian come in, even though I'm from London. But I'm here now, so I'd like to see a Canadian come to Arsenal and do well. Why not?
Yeah. What do you think of your Cardiff guy then, Junior Hoylett? He's still in the frame, isn't he, normally?
Junior Hoylett? No idea, man. That's a name I've not heard in years, man. I've not heard that name in a long time.
Oh, fucking hell. hey, you're really interested in Canadian football, aren't you? Fucking hell.
I'm not really that into it, to be honest, because there's not really that much about it. They mainly play with the MLS league.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right. I'm gonna play it again. Right now, I'm going to talk when we talk about it. I'm going to come from a former cocaine user, that standpoint. I'm going to do it. Right, so here we go. Hang on, I need to screen share this.
You're like the Jerry Springer of football podcasts.
Oh, Jerry. Hang on. Spreading love in this big bad world of importantly subscribe to the channel. Remember, subscription is, and the breakfast show is now live on YouTube. And looks like she continue partying from last night into this morning. It is alleged that there was something lined up on a table in front of her. I say alleged. Now, with a hooter like this, I've indulged in the past, but at a place of work, when you're live on a show in front of millions, bloody hell, Laura Woods likes taking a risk or two.
Stones played in his normal position out of that back four. But I just think the fundamentals they didn't do well. He pressed individually, giving the ball away cheaply. They couldn't pass the ball 5-10 times during the first half. And you have to credit Liverpool. I thought they were excellent. They came out. I think there was a bit of fear with them with the players.
And for people who didn't see that, well, here's a close-up of it.
But I just think the fundamentals they didn't do well. They pressed individually, giving the ball away cheaply. They couldn't pass the ball 5-10 times during the first half. And you have to credit Liverpool. I thought they were excellent.
What do you think?
I don't know, mate. I don't know if I'm buying it. I mean,
apparently she was yawning.
They know that there's cameras in there, right? They know there's cameras and that in there. I mean,
the thing is, the breakfast show has only been live the last few days, and I don't know. Listen, I'd say as a former cocaine user, and I've done it in work before, but in a fucking toilet cubicle many fucking years ago, right? But come on, Stan, you've been a DJ. You have gone to those fucking manky toilets before in the past.
I don't know. I just think that I don't personally. I just don't see why you would do it at that time in that place. Personally,
Yeah.
That's what I think.
A PR fucking thing.
I mean, you got to think of your career, right? I don't know. I don't buy it.
Okay, I'm going for yes. Stan's going for no. You lot in the chat, what do you think? Right. Also, Stan, you're an Arsenal fan. You tweeted earlier on about Gabriel Jesus going to Arsenal, and I'm telling you, absolutely no, not happening.
Why do you think it wouldn't happen?
El Chigrito last night, I was going to do a video and I thought, oh, fuck it. It's only fucking Jesus. He's fucking useless, right? And El Chigrito, not last night, night before as well, they've been running slightly with it. And it's more than rumoured. Right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm just having a problem with my headphones. Go on.
Yeah, no, it's more than rumoured that he's going to Barcelona from Man City because Man City need the money to be part of the Haaland deal. But it looks more Barcelona for Jesus. If you were Jesus, take your Arsenal blinkers off. Barcelona or Arsenal?
Well, it's an attractive proposition to go to Barcelona. He's been, you got to look at it that, he's been in England for quite some time. Maybe he feels it would be a challenge to go and play in another league. But all I saw were just some links, and I didn't even read the articles. I just saw the links and I just tweeted out that, yeah, I'd be up for that. If there was a chance for Gabriel Jesus to come to Arsenal, I wouldn't mind him as being one of 2, perhaps 3 strikers that Arsenal eventually will need to bring in.
Yeah, no, fair enough. You're on about.
I mean, he's oven ready, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? He knows
Yeah.
he knows the league, he knows the job, knows the manager. Probably has an idea of the style of play. I think it could be a good fit, and I don't think it would cost an arm and a leg either. So I wouldn't say no
As a
to it.
result,
But
then, do you think Calvert-Lewin has played himself out of the fucking Arsenal thinking because he has absolutely been dog shite this season?
to be honest with you, I've never really been that keen on him myself.
Okay.
Personally, I've just never really been that keen on him. But as I said, we need about at least 3 strikers. I believe between now and January at some point. Aubameyang needs to be replaced. Lacazette's going. Eddie's going. That only leaves Balogun, right? Who's out on loan. So if we're going to be trying to compete in 4 competitions, I've got to bring in at least another 3.
Yeah, no, it's fair. What about links? Let me just bring this up, Stanley.
What you got?
1 second. I want you to tell me about this, really. Ah, there you go. Right. This happened about half an hour ago. Just your luck. Just been invited to an audition for the lead in the commercial thing. The product is erectile dysfunction. Still a paying job. So tell us about that, Stan.
Seriously, right? Because I do like a lot of background acting over here in Vancouver. You know, it's quite a lot of fun. The hours are good. Do you know what I mean? It pays well. And I got invited. I'm on a few platforms that are for like acting and stuff. And I got an invite this morning, asking me to submit myself to be the lead in a commercial. And I thought, oh wow, you know, if it's a national commercial, you know, so it can raise your profile. So I'm reading along, and it turns out that the product that they're advertising is for erectile dysfunction. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, it sounds like a good gig, but as I said to the missus, I don't know if I want to be known as, hey, it's the soft willy guy. Hey, I know you, the soft willy guy, you know? So,
Hey, I'll tell you what, though, Stan. I'll tell you what, hey, I'll give you a bit of commission if you fucking push for football brownie condoms and lube that way. I'm telling you, sim market.
so yeah, I was like, fucking hell, you know, an opportunity to do a commercial, but I've got to promote erectile dysfunction. So they sent me like the lines and everything that you got. They want me to just like record myself.
Where are the lines? Go on, where are the lines? Come on.
Do you want me to?
Come on,
right.
we all want to fucking hear this.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, right, they want me to do something along the lines of, I'm going to be frank, ED is way more common than you think. Someone you know has it, and if they don't, then it's probably you. It can happen for a lot of reasons, and because it's such a taboo topic, it ends up going untreated for a lot of the time. An untreated ED can be so frustrating. But I'm here to tell you there's a simple, convenient way to get the treatment that you need. The first thing you should know is I hate going to doctors. They're just not for me. If I can avoid it, I will. So not having to see someone in person is a big plus for me.
You know what? I'll give you a job right there. There you go, son.
So they're the lines that they want. You know, that it's just for like the practice thing. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah. Well,
erectile
dysfunction, my former girlfriend just loved me taking fucking Viagra like Smarties. The only fucking problem was my bed was like a fucking tent for nearly 2 weeks. Do you know what I mean? You know, right, let's go back in the chat anyway for a sec. Rob, hi Rob, hope you're well, man. Hope you're well. Brownie, keep your sheepshacking hands upwards. She blocked me. She did block me. It is a shame. But, you know, I'm well down a bloody list of bloody platforms who brought the, who brought the bloody subject up. Do you know what I mean? Farine's in the house. Steve Denham. I don't know, Brownie. She might have later, after she cooled off, been raging. I know he's fucking agreeing with me, but he's fucking biting his lip. I know he is. Steve said, Brownie needs to send her a message in Laura. Is it true? Look, I have said I'd love her to come on. Just put her I don't buy the yawning fucking thing. I have never yawned in my life when I'm wiping my nose. I'm fucking basically having a fucking body shake. Stan knows what I'm talking about, although we wouldn't admit it. Right, okay, let's go for.
I've got no idea what he's talking about.
No, I
right?
know. Just for DJ Marbella, fucking blank out for the rest of your life. Eric, this is what I've been looking for a while. I'll finish my Mexican coffee at work. Eric's from your neck of the woods, North America. Somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Important to point out, alleged. Fucking right it is, my friend. That's why I done it more than once. What the hell was she doing, man? When she looks up, she had a cheeky grin. That's right, she had a cheeky grin. Jamie O'Hara had a cheeky grin as well. He laughed as well. You don't fucking laugh if someone's fucking yawning. Yeah? Looks like she just dusted a big line in. Yeah. But also as well, Stan, you from London, you know the attitudes of London media fucking bubble as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the MPs. Stefan says sound is crap.
And that's when I started.
I have to apologize the quality of my fucking videos. Do you know what I mean? I'll try my best.
No, it's because I didn't have my mic on.
Oh, right. I thought you were on about the fucking Laurel Woods. Yeah, Stan, what? Yeah, I agree with Ruddy. What the fuck are you doing here?
You invited me. You said, what are you up to? You
I didn't invite you. I
said,
really didn't expect you to fucking take me up in the invite, I'll be honest with you.
Why? Why not?
Because I don't know. Well, because of the time of day as well.
I've been here before. I've been here before. Can I ask a question? I was asked a question.
Phil McCock says, Stan, what type of girl are you into?
I like
the ones with a third leg.
I like something to hold on to be honest, you know. I like girls with a little bit to hold on to.
Yeah, know? He's on about the one fucking throat he is. He's on about a girl with a long fucking throat.
Put it this way, right? I might not be able to name all 7 wonders of the world, but my missus has got 2 of them.
Boom!
I'm here all week.
Gary's in the house. Evening, Brownie and Stan. Hi, Gary.
Hi, Gary.
7 says, oh, it looks dodgy, but I'm not sure, to be honest. Find out tooth. Snort. It's not that talk snort, is it? Talk snort. That's right, it is. It's talk snort. Let's just drop down. I do apologize. There's a few. Yeah, let's go. Are the 2 additionals worth the block? I haven't got a clue what you're talking about. Cheddar's in the house. Hi, Cheddar's. Are you back from your 16-hour bus trip from Amsterdam because you missed your flight? You dopey bastard. I don't know.
Was he back from Amsterdam? I used to live there. That's why I used to live before I moved here.
Yeah, no, you see fucking...
You missed his flight at Schiphol?
Interpol had his fucking hands tied when he was fucking on the run from Marbella. South London to Marbella to Amsterdam. Now fucking... He tells us he's in fucking Canada. He's probably in Vietnam or somewhere. Yeah, no worries. Right.
So you watching the box? Are you watching the boxing tomorrow then, Brownie?
I am. I do.
Are you into the boxing? Do you like the
I
boxing?
seen Tyson Fury a few weeks ago. Over here. I seen Tyson Fury a few weeks ago over here.
Oh yeah, was that where his training camp was?
No, in the fucking nightclub.
Oh what? Yeah, but you're in. No, but I mean, like, you're in. Where are you now? In Dubai, right?
Dubai, yeah.
I just wondered if that's where he'd been holding his training camp, and you just saw him out in the night.
Oh, probably. It was a type of nightclub where you couldn't take any photos. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, it's one of the most popular nightclubs in Dubai. Fucking walked in, fucking Tyson Fury, and look, I love him to bits. Don't get me wrong. But he always wears that fucking loud as fuck yellow shirt.
And that loud jacket as well, doesn't he?
I know.
A load of boxes on it.
Terrible fucking dress sense. But Yeah,
No
no,
one's
he'd be
going to tell
fair.
him though. That's the thing. No one's going to tell him.
Exactly. Exactly. Otherwise, he'll end up like fucking Mike Tyson and that fucking guy on a plane, wouldn't he?
I just want to answer a question from Dara. He's asked a couple
Yeah.
of times. He's asking if I've heard of Treaty United, and the answer to that is no. Maybe that's a local team in
No,
Vancouver.
no.
I don't know.
What we're doing, we pairing up really with Treaty United through the League of Ireland, right? And
Oh,
the League of Ireland, Stan, is a summer league now, right? So basically, when the summer comes and everyone's searching for content, we
yeah.
pair up with Treaty United to do watch-alongs throughout the summer. At least it gives us
Oh,
something to do.
In the Irish League.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I'd love a
okay.
Welsh league to fucking go that way, you know. I'd love a Welsh league go that way, but you know, because you know as well, being an Arsenal fan, how many Irish football supporters actually travel to the mainland, or should
Yeah,
I say, to England to watch Premier League,
yeah,
and that's the only way to grab those football supporters when they board us fucking a summer. Go summer league,
yeah.
you
Okay,
know.
that's a good idea. Well, why not?
So yeah, that's what we're doing. So yeah, first watch along is tomorrow. Um, have you been to any games in Ireland?
No, I used to live in Ireland when I was like about 4 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think I might have been back once for a day trip. I've never really spent a lot of time in Ireland other than when I was a kid living there.
Yeah.
So
No,
no.
years ago, I went to like a pre-season tournament in Dublin. You know what? I can't remember. It was one of those fucking trips. Do you know what I
Good
mean?
night out in Dublin, I hear.
Yeah, pricey though. Pricey. You know. So going back to Arsenal, Stan.
And go back to the
All
boxing.
right, boxing. Yeah, come on.
What do you think about the fight tomorrow? Tyson Fury versus Dillian White.
Well,
I mean,
people are
for
saying
me,
it's going to be Fury's last fight, isn't it? I think Fury will win. I think Fury will win. I really do. I don't think White is up to his level. But what I don't
I
like,
think you could say that Dillian's in the top 5, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether he's got what it takes to put out Tyson Fury. But it's a
yeah,
big chance for Dillian White, right? It's a
yeah,
big
exactly.
opportunity. Big opportunity. A bit like for example, that Ruiz when he fought AJ. I'm
Or
not saying
Rocky
that
Balboa
Dillian
when he
White's on
fought
that
bloody
level, but again, it's an opportunity, right? And you can make the most of them, make the most of it. So,
yeah.
but the
But
smart
I
money with
don't,
Dillian
people
Fury.
are on about this. It'll be his retirement fight. Let me tell you, if a fight against AJ come up, he'd be coming out of retirement sooner rather than fucking later.
Gutted that they didn't have there's no unification fight. That's what I want to see. I want
Yeah,
to see one person have all of the belts. I'd like to see
yeah,
that, divvy it all up afterwards, but it would be good to have one person standing tall above all others.
yeah.
That's what it's about, right?
But
For me.
but I hate boxers and and they managers fucking dodging fights. It pisses me off. It really does piss me off. And as a Welshman, it pains me to say that certain times throughout Joe Kazagi's fucking career, he
Oh yeah.
dodged fights. You know, um, I don't know. If AJ and bloody Tyson Fury would do, gotta be Tyson Fury, surely.
Say again.
If AJ and Tyson Fury,
Yeah. Yeah. I think AJ's had a lot of help, not help with his fights, but it's been very well navigated in his path, his career path.
yeah,
And I just think that I'm really sold on Tyson Fury. I watched some of his documentaries about what he's like as a person, and he kind of resonates with me. He grows on me. He's got a good story, and it's a great
oh yeah,
film in there. There's a great film in there one day, I reckon. Could be a
yeah,
great story in there. So I want him to do well. I really like him. A little bit like Lewis Hamilton. I really want Lewis Hamilton to do well. There are certain people in sports that, even though it might not be football, I like them. I like what they seem to be about, and I root for them. Lewis Hamilton's one. and Tyson Fury's another one. I root for him. I want him to do well, you know.
Well, when I was in Marbella, Tyson Fury, because he went to the what's that gym? MTK gym. MTK gym on Porta Banus, the other side of the motorway.
Mate, I know nothing about gyms. I only have to walk past one.
No, you don't know nothing about Porta Banus. Let's get right. Let's get that right. No, basically, where you got Porta Banus and you got the other side of a motorway, you got MTK gym. That's where Tyson Fury and all went and Tyson Fury used to do a lot of road work running around the Marbella area and the mountains and that, and used to, I used to come across him quite regular. And that's actually when I was in the club. And I did have a chat with him. I said, I remember you. I said, remember fucking.
He's like, yeah, I ran past you one time. I remember you.
No.
I remember that place. I ran past you, didn't I?
He'd always go the same route. He'd go Marbella down to San Pedro, down to Estepona. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, that's quite a trek and all.
For fucking right. You know, and
that's a taxi journey for me. That's a taxi journey for me. That is.
Oh, fucking running. Taxi journey, fucking flight, mate. Fucking flight. Yeah. AP says there's a video circling. Yeah, I know, but have you seen that video?
Yeah. First thing I thought was, fucking hell, Mike still got it. I know. He still got it. But from what I could see, it was quite funny because it's like someone's filming it from their seat, looking across. So you see the seats from the sides.
Yeah.
And you got this one guy. He looks like he's full of beans. Do you know what I mean? He's like Mike Tyson sat in front of him next to someone, and he's just constantly trying to like badger him. Hey, it's Mike Tyson. Hey, Mike, you know, and all that.
Yeah.
And the camera sort of moves away for a bit, and when it comes back, Mike Tyson's leaning over the top, man, and he is wailing. You know,
that's what I don't like. That is, I know in Marbella quite often you come across, celebrities, let's call them, or many times it'd be Liverpool Football Club. I don't like approaching.
I bumped into a few from EastEnders when I used to live out there.
Probably trying to get a good gig on EastEnders. That's what you're fucking doing. No, okay, Arsenal. Good win against Chelsea, Stan.
Yeah. I mean,
are you now Arteta in or Arteta out?
I've never been in or out. I don't like to be so definitive with it. You know, I've been supporting Arsenal since I was maybe like 9 years old. Been a long time now, like sort of like very early 80s. I've seen a lot of managers like come and go. And the way that I look at it is like, and I use Manchester United as the comparison. They let go of their legacy manager in Sir Alex Ferguson, as we did with Arsene Wenger. And if you look at Man United, they've brought in a lot of variety of managers, and it's been like a rotating door, a revolving door. You know, this one doesn't work, this one doesn't fit. And they always, since Alex Ferguson's left, they've been in a state of flux. They seem to be always in the middle of a rebuild. Another manager comes in, doesn't like those players, wants to bring in other players. He's in a rebuild. That manager gets the boot. And that's not what I want for Arsenal. So when Mikel Arteta got appointed, he wasn't my first choice. I was great, Mikel Arteta. But I wasn't on the same token that, he's going to be shit. I was 50-50. And rather than doing Arteta in or Arteta out, I used the old measuring of percentages or a scale. So he was 50-50 for me when he got appointed. And there have been times since he's been the manager where that percentage moved to where I got up to about maybe 75%. I wanted him gone. There are things that I was seeing and that I didn't really like. But where I am now, I'm kind of like in a I'm 65% happy with what he's doing now. The scales have moved up into the positive area. But I've always felt that I'm not going to be able to cast my full judgment until the season is finished. Yeah. And at the beginning of the season, the target that I set for myself, I thought, okay, if I was going to set a target for Mikel Arteta, what would it be? Well, we finished 8th for the first 2 seasons he was in charge. So I figured that 6th place for me, if we could get into the whatever it is that qualifies you for the Europa League proper, That for me is the minimum requirement. That's your minimum requirement. You get into the
Because you can
Champions
still
League,
see
obviously.
progress.
Yeah, if you get into the Champions League and you get a seat at the big boys' table, fantastic. But the minimum requirement for me is the Europa League, and if that's sixth place, I feel that with the amount of money that he's now invested, which is about £220 million, something like that, I feel that asking for an improvement of 2 places isn't a lot to ask with the funds that he's had and been given and the time that he's had. So for me, the minimum requirement would be 6th place. And if he doesn't make that, then I would maybe then have to reassess and ask questions. But I've never been that definitive where I have to go, Arteta in or Arteta out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You were from my generation, Stan. You were
I
from
was
my
just about
generation.
to say it, right? Me and you come from a generation where look when Alex Ferguson first got appointed.
Carry on talking. I'm going to bring up Alex Ferguson's fucking record now.
Bring it up because I had it up recently, right? And he didn't hit the ground running straight away when he came in from Aberdeen. How many seasons was it? Where I think he finished 11th.
Hang on. Don't bloody
bring it up.
I will bloody bring it up because I've always brought it up when this issue has come up, and
there was one time I think he finished 11th,
13th at one point.
And then he finished 2nd, and you're thinking to yourself, "Oh wow, improvement!" And then the season after that, it was 11th again. Now that was today. If that was today, he'd been out the door. Do you know what I mean? But he was given a lot of time, and I'm not saying that Mikel Arteta should be given all of the time in the world. But as you just mentioned, times were a little bit different. Managers were given time.
Yeah. Right, here you go. Hang on, man. It comes up because Ferguson started obviously in the bloody first division, didn't he? So
yeah, and you should count that as well. You should count the first division. It's still about winning the league,
exactly.
Right?
Football didn't start in fucking 92,
didn't it? Oh, it was tense for Fergie, and Riddy says in the chat it was only a couple of games away from getting sacked. But
fucking right. I remember it was the FA Cup quarter final away to Notts Forest, and Mark Robbins fucking scored, and that was in '99, and they went on to beat Crystal Palace in the final. Oh, it really pisses me off with these fucking websites that only do Premier League or fucking.
I think I put in something like Alex Ferguson's league positions with Man United, and I found a list.
Right, hang on. Right, hang on. Here we go.
So just while you're doing that, have you settled in over there? Just before you bring it up, I just wanted to ask you, so what's it like over in Dubai as an expat? I mean, and what's it like for? Can you only drink in hotels? Can you only drink in hotels? Can you drink in bars? I mean, what's the lifestyle like?
I'm drinking straight now. Fuck it. I didn't even have time to get a fucking mixer, so straight fucking vodka. But you have to. It's like a drug deal, I suppose. You have to fucking ring up a guy. He comes along. Fucking little brown bag. Fucking end of your street. But
are you allowed to drink in your? Are you allowed to drink in your place? Like, is that all right?
So. I don't think so. It's a bit of a grey area. Some people say yes.
Edit all of the last 5 minutes out.
Fuck it. But mainly, it's hotel bars. There are bars in which, or pubs in which you can thing. Vast majority are dry, I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
And the price of a pint, you're looking in a region of 12 to 15 quid a pint.
Wow, this is like Port Banús, isn't it? And the high places in Port Banús, you know, the high places.
Yeah, but that's in the non-tourist areas. That's the problem, you know. Right.
Wow.
Let's fucking screen share this.
No, go on.
Right. Here we go. Right, Man United. Now he took over after Ferguson, wasn't it? So it was the
He took over.
uh
Who did Ferguson
yeah,
take
he
over
took
from?
over after the 86-87 season, wasn't it?
Was it Ron Atkinson?
Yeah,
No.
Ron Atkinson. He won the FA Cup in the 86, didn't he? Right. So his first season, they were fucking second. Right, that's his first season. Oh no, sorry, Alex Ferguson. First season, 11th. But I think he came in halfway through the season, so you can kind of count
Right.
that out. Then he went second the following season, then 12th, 13th by 1990. That's the year they won the FA
He
Cup.
would have been gone by then, right? There's no
Oh,
way
yeah, if he
today
didn't win the FA
that
Cup on that
that
year, he would have been
a
gone.
manager would have been 11th, improve to 12th, and everyone's like, "Fucking hell, look at that! That's not bad." And then the following season, 12th, and you're thinking, "Oh no!" And then the one after that, 13th.
Yeah, 13th
His head
then,
would be
yeah.
called for today.
Oh, absolutely. Ferguson would never have had the fucking time he did. And then 6th, second, and the rest is history then.
You know what kept him
I'm
probably
not
in the
saying,
job?
I'm not trying to compare
You know what
Arteta
kept him in the job, right? I tell you what kept him in the job. No Twitter back then.
Yeah,
You know what I
you're
mean?
right. You're right.
No socials back then. It was just the back page of the paper and fucking CFAX and Oracle.
Oh, absolutely. You still got the, I remember the fucking, I think you're a few years older than me, but I remember
I still look younger though.
the fucking crowd fucking really angry about being kept in. But also as well, you will remember this, Stefan will remember this, a few in the fucking chat will remember this, and I didn't something reminded me about it, right?
Yeah.
You will go back to remember the horse, the Rock of Gibraltar?
The what?
The Rock of Gibraltar.
Yeah, I know the Rock of Gibraltar.
Remember that horse?
The horse.
Yeah. You're going back 2003, 2004. The then manager, people in the chat, Stefan will know, people in the fucking chat, right?
Chris just said,
Rock of Gibraltar,
no,
2003, 2004.
Chris just said, Stan's erectile dysfunction would last longer. We're talking about Ferguson.
yeah. He's right. Right? Rock of Gibraltar, 2003, 2004.
Yeah.
Was owned by John Magnier, the then Man United fucking owner.
Oh, yeah, I remember,
with another Irish guy.
Okay.
And then
and they had a racehorse called the Rock of Gibraltar.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And wasn't Alex Ferguson involved in that horse?
Yeah, Alex Ferguson took him a court. Right? Alex Ferguson took him a court because allegedly they said, look, you can have half the stud fees or whatever. But Ferguson took him a court for half of other fees. Rock of Gibraltar was worth fucking millions.
I remember this now.
Right?
Yeah.
Now that because there was going to be fucking protests at Cheltenham and everything else, which then fucking pushed fucking John Magnier and the other fucking Irish guy out the fucking Man United, and that allowed the Glazers to come in and fucking buy it.
Took me a while, right? Because when you said, do you know the Rock of Gibraltar? I was literally thinking of the
You're
place.
on about a fucking rock and a fucking monkeys and everything.
And then when you said John Magnier owned it, I was like, did he? He owned fucking Gibraltar.
Yeah.
And then when you said the horse, it all fell into place. But I remember that now. I remember that horse, the Rock of Gibraltar, and Alex Ferguson.
So that basically, right, opened up a fucking way because John Magnier fucking was under so much pressure from Man United fans that basically they would take any fucking deal. Glazers come in. So who's going to blame Alex Ferguson for fucking Glazers coming in the first place? You know?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. But that Rock of Gibraltar was a fucking beast of a horse. Fucking hell. I won a couple of pennies on that fucking thing.
Mate, I'm old school. When I think of racehorses, I just think of red rum.
West Tip 1986 fucking Grand National winner. That was my first one. Right, you go old school then, Stan. What was your first World Cup?
The first World Cup that I remember was Argentina, Holland.
78.
With all of the ticker tape falling in that big stadium. I was like 10 years old.
Or bog
And I
roll. Then.
remember I was,
The modern word is fucking bog roll.
I just remember like at school the next day, people playing World Cup, Argentina versus Holland. Do you know what I mean? In the cage in primary school. That's the first World Cup that I remember watching it on just regular terrestrial television.
Yeah. Yeah, no, well, shows you fucking bit older than me, but well, that was the year I was fucking born. But Cruyff didn't. Cruyff was a protest. He didn't go to that World Cup because the Argentine dictator at the time.
Yeah, I
I
was
wonder,
10 years old, so I don't remember all the
so
background. I just remember watching it
82.
on
Do
my
you
nan.
remember 82?
Who was in the final with that?
Spain. Well, Spain 82 was Italy, Germany.
Vaguely.
Well,
Vaguely.
so basically, you can remember the 86 one, then, yeah.
Oh, Mexico.
Yeah.
Who was in the final for that?
Argentina. Come on, it was the handball fucking World Cup.
Argentina and
Germany.
Yeah.
Right.
The one,
Hold
the World
fire.
Cup.
Hold fire. One moment. Hold fire for a sec. There you go. It's actually going on sale at the moment. We a Maradona fucking shirt.
Yeah.
Allegedly, Steve Hodge fucking owns
What?
it.
That's the shirt.
That's the shirt. Is the current price
For
bid highest bid is £4 million.
wow.
But there's also fucking stories that Maradona actually changed his shirt at halftime, which meant that shirt Steve Hodge have had
Yeah.
wasn't the fucking shirt of the Hand of God.
Huh.
Because the Hand of God was in the first half.
Have you seen the it's like a dramatized autobiography of Maradona. I think it's on Prime.
Are you
It's
on
really
about when
good.
you went to Mexico?
No, it's not that one. I've seen that one. That one's like a reality thing where he took over that team in Mexico. This
Yeah.
is like actors playing his life, all from like it jumps back and forth from when he's older back to when he's younger, and it goes through his whole career. And
No, I haven't.
it's in Spanish, but you can change the audio to English dubbing, and it works really, really well. And it's
Well,
about like
you know habla español, no?
no habla, no, but it's
Hang on,
about
hang on.
it's about
One,
12 episodes long. It's really worth a watch. It's really done well. Really done well, to be honest. And the actors that play him at his different ages, they're very, very well cast.
what do you
State of
think
them
of
shorts,
this?
man. State of them
You've seen
shorts and
this?
Patini.
Maradona advertising no drugs, Platini advertising no fucking
That's
corruption.
right. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. Yeah.
Again now.
In hindsight.
Incredible, huh? Incredible. Okay, well, you remember the would you go with me, Stan, right? On about Maradona. Now take your
Yeah.
English fucking blinkers off, yeah?
Yeah.
Maradona, the best player you've ever fucking seen in your lifetime or not?
Yeah, for me, it could do everything, you know. Even if there's a big argument about Pele being the best footballer, and I have to, when I was younger, I don't remember too much about Pele playing football.
Yeah,
Obviously, I've watched a lot of stuff as I've been growing up, but I just think Maradona for me had it all,
yeah,
and for the position that he played as well, it's not like he was a striker just waiting to get on the end of things. Do you know what I mean? He was making a lot of things happen and running through teams at times on his own and carrying teams by the scruff of their neck. And a lot of similarities with Paul Gascoigne. Very similar in the way that they can create, score, good with both feet, good with their head. Even though they're a midfielder, they're all over the pitch. And then you've got all of the other stuff that comes with that genius off of the pitch, right? All of that
yeah.
baggage, the nightmares that these players have had. Very similar.
But
Maybe you
you
could
know
even
what?
throw George Best in there and have a trio. Do you know what I mean? Of those
No,
three players, right?
absolutely. I weren't old enough to remember fucking Best, but people who are old enough to remember Best will still say Best was better than Maradona.
he was my first memory as a child, right? He's my first kind of memory of football and a footballer. It wasn't a team, it was the player George Best. Do you know what I
Right,
mean?
okay.
You know,
Yeah.
when I was really small, like younger than the ages of like 8, you know, I knew who George Best was. I hadn't picked a football team as yet, but I kind of supported George Best. I
I
knew
got
him.
that. That's for me and
He was like
Maradona.
a, you know, he was like an icon. You know, he was, you
Yeah.
know, he was still being shown on the TV quite a lot at that point as well. Still, you know.
That's the same with me and Maradona, right? Because it was only that '86 World Cup. That's why I got the logo, a PK as my logo of a channel because I firmly
That's right. Yeah,
believe you.
that was the marketing thing for it, weren't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I firmly believe your first proper World Cup is always your best World Cup, right? That's my firm belief, and I
Yeah,
don't think.
Argentina, Holland. It just reminds me of my school, being in primary school, and the way that everybody wanted to recreate it the following day in this big cage, and we had like, you know, two teams playing, just kids during dinner time. One side Argentina, one side Holland, and all of the girls, everybody that wasn't playing, crowding around the cage as spectators. It was. I just remember this lunchtime. It was never seen anything like it. Recreating a football match, even with everybody crowding around the cage as spectators and cheering and stuff like that. It was crazy.
So you had no one playing Scotland and fucking Archie Gemmo and that fucking goal against. No.
No. What a goal that was, eh?
Oh yeah, I
What
know,
a
I
goal.
know. But going back there, do you believe? Do you right? Two points I want to bring up about Maradona. Obviously,
Yeah,
when Mexico happened, it was only 4 years after the Falklands War, so it was a lot of anti-Argentine animosity, not just in England but the whole of Britain because of that, right?
yeah, there was the two players at Tottenham, right? At the
Yeah,
time,
Villa
Ricky Villa
and
and
Ardiles.
Osby Ardiles. There was like worries about what, you know, would they have to leave for a while or not? Do you remember that?
Yeah, well, I don't remember it, but I have. Yeah,
Yeah,
and they went on to win the FA Cup, didn't they? With
that's right.
Ricky
I was
Villa.
just thinking, did they win the FA
Yeah,
Cup that year? That's right.
yeah,
Yeah.
the
Was
Ricky
that
Villa.
the one? Was that the Ricky Villa goal?
Yeah, Man City.
Huh? Yeah, that's another good goal.
But right, two things with Maradona because they're on about fucking Ronaldo, fucking Messi, or Maradona. All because I tell you what, if you fucking watch back the fucking challenges Maradona had to do against England, that the game against England, Tay Fennick tried to fucking hit him into Rose head every single fucking time. Right? Not just Tay Fennick, Steve Hodge, Terry Butcher, Peter Reid, they all tried to fucking nail him. That was football in them days. But I'm telling you, the amount of challenges in which Maradona had to put up with week in, week out, Messi or Ronaldo wouldn't have hit the fucking wouldn't have been playing after the age of 30.
Just you mentioned Peter Reid there. Have you ever heard the Peter Reid chant? It's one of the funniest chants I've ever
No,
heard.
no.
Have you heard it? Peter Reid's got a monkey's heed, doo da, doo da. Peter Reid's got a monkey's heed. It doesn't look like a chimpanzee.
No,
It
I
doesn't look
never,
like a
I
chimpanzee.
never.
No?
I
Funny
never.
hearing that. It's a good one, that. But
Well,
yeah, I mean, the players weren't as protected as much back then, and the tackles were much harder
fucking
back
right they
then.
were.
Fucking hell.
Fucking right they were.
You know what I mean? And the fucking shin pads are made out of cardboard.
Oh yeah, I know. Sandico, whatever fucking company was called. Fucking rubbish, man.
On
Fucking
Deco,
rubbish.
yeah.
Right, going on, we've got Arsenal. We go back to the late 80s when George Graham took over. When,
Oh, from Millwall?
yeah, from Millwall, yeah.
Yeah.
That would never have happened now. Let's be honest, that would never have
Yeah.
happened now.
Yeah,
Right?
you used to see a lot of things like that. Like, you know, a team would go out and they would look for a football manager in the division below, and it would almost like they'd be rewarded, right? Yeah, we'll bring this guy up, and that used
Yeah,
to happen. That happened quite a lot. But
yeah,
then again, you're talking at a time when we were picking from a different pool of managers, right? Because there were no foreign managers.
yeah, no.
You know, there were no foreign managers, so the pool was smaller. So a lot of managers would get a gamble taken on them to move up, get
Yeah.
promoted to one of the bigger teams and have a
Oh,
gamble.
exactly. Exactly. Right. As an Arsenal fan, did you support Charlie Nicholas being sold or not? Champagne Charlie.
Oh, I mean, I've got a Scottish background, right? As you know. So, I like having a Scottish player at Arsenal. So we've got Kieran Tierney. He ticks that box. I really want to get a Jamaican player to come and play for Arsenal so I can tick that box. That's why I was gutted when we never got Leon Bailey. Because, and that's why I want
Yeah, I
Jonathan
get it.
David as well. Jonathan David will tick the Canadian box.
But
But Charlie Nicholas, I remember going to Paul Merson's testimonial,
okay.
and it was against he had it against like an all-star team, and there was a lot of different players that were coming on for Arsenal as well. I mean, in that match, Paul Gascoigne turned out for Arsenal in an Arsenal shirt and scored a hat-trick, which was quite good. Glenn Hoddle wore an Arsenal shirt in that match as well. But Charlie Nicholas was playing. And I had a friend of mine who was a Tottenham supporter. I've got 2 tickets for this Paul Merson thing. Do you want to come? She went, all right then. And she was a little bit younger than me, and she never knew of Charlie Nicholas. And she loved it that every time the Charlie got the ball, they'd done the old Charms of Big Ben chant, the old Charlie, Charlie,
Yeah.
Charlie, 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 Charlie. And she was like, she was like, who's that guy? You'd think it's his testimonial. I go, that's Charlie Nicholas.
Yeah.
That's who
He
that is.
was outraged when Graham got rid of him. He was outraged.
But you have to remember, though, right, when he moved down from Scotland as a single man, he didn't move down with family and kids. And, it wasn't like when you see a lot of players, when they move over from another country, they bring their mum, their aunties, their granddad with them. He moved down from Scotland as a young lad, a proper, from the streets of Scotland. And he's in a hotel. And he goes to training, and training finishes at 3:00. Well, what's he going to do? Just go and sit in his hotel room? I mean, there weren't even Xboxes back then.
No, I tell you
So
what
he's,
he done. I tell
he's
you
down
what
the
he
pub,
done.
isn't he? He's down the pub. He's in the betting shop. Do you know what I mean? He's probably
I tell you
meeting a
what he
few,
done.
few dodgy Herberts from the manor, getting into a few things. Do you know what I mean? Meeting a couple of birds, going uptown. What's he going to do? He's got money in his pocket. He's down in the bright lights of London. Do you know what I mean? He's not a bad-looking kid either.
Hey, no worries. But I tell you what he done. He fucking teamed up with fucking Frank McAvenny at fucking bloody hell. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, what a
London's
double that
West
must
End
have
was
been.
the fucking was the afternoon during a week. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very great times, though, Stanley. Great time. I do think that League Cup defeat to Luton. I think that spelled the end of it.
Yeah. Say that again. The what?
The League Cup final defeat to Luton.
Yeah.
I think that was the end of it.
Yeah, I remember I was working in the safari park at the time. I used to work at Woburn Safari Park, and I was sat in a Land Rover in the Wolves enclosure listening to that, if I remember rightly.
But did Arsenal fans actually have fucking faith in Graham? Because at that time you had the Merseyside domination, didn't you? You had Everton, Liverpool, fucking. Do you know what I mean? No one else. People nowadays would not believe just how dominated Everton, just how good Everton were at that time. Really fucking,
I think to answer your question about George Graham, I think I tell you how much I think that he was regarded and his style was for that time is the exact reason that when they went to replace him, Bruce Rioch, they thought that Bruce Rioch would come in and be almost like a carbon copy, a staunch Scot, with certain values, very staunch kind of a person when he Rioch. Do you know what I mean? And wasn't didn't Rioch even used to be ex-army as well?
I don't know. I can only go back with Rioch, but he was in charge of Bolton when he was Bolton.
Yeah, and it just didn't work. He came in and he really tried to be over disciplinary, whereas George Graham had kind of earned it. He thought he could just walk straight in and carry on in the same vein without, you got to remember, like George Graham, a lot of the players in the team, he plucked some of them that he brought in were plucked from nowhere, plucking players from places like Stoke and etc. And then you had other players like Tony Adams and some of that lot who he brought in and gave them their chance from the academy. So he had that he had that respect from them, and they listened to him. And Bruce Rioch walked in and just thought that he could walk in like I think he was like a sergeant in the army or something, but he had like a sergeant
So,
major way about
yeah,
him, and he thought
Ryan's
he could walk.
confirming that he was ex-army, definitely. So,
Yeah, and he came in and he thought, okay, I can just start playing. Oh, I'm going to play Ian Wright on the wing.
well, I tell you what, though, right, Stan? No,
Do you know what I
I
mean?
tell you what, right? And just dawned on me now, just dawned on me, right? Because Arsenal started to really kick on towards the end of the 80s. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, think about this as a whole picture. Was Arsenal one of the very few clubs to benefit from the European ban because the likes of Everton players fucking went north to Rangers or fucking abroad? What do you think? Because it left the door open. It left the door open for fucking Arsenal to fucking come through.
I never thought of it like that. I never considered that, but yeah, I suppose there's a good argument. There's a good argument for that. But I'm just looking at BS's comment. He says George Graham messed up, had an affair. I didn't know about that. Obviously, I remember the brown paper bags was what I remember. Was the reason, as I remember it, the reason that George Graham was dismissed from Arsenal was because he was caught taking backhanders for players. And I
Yeah.
think the two players that come to mind was John Jensen.
John Jensen, that fucking goal against fucking Germany in the Euros. Fucking hell. He won a fucking lottery with that fucking goal.
And the other one was Pal Lyderson. I think they were the main two where the backhanders occurred. Wasn't it something like 400,000?
I can't
I
remember.
don't know why that figures in my head, but I mean George Graham wasn't the only one doing it at the time.
Exactly. It was
Yeah.
just.
However,
Yeah.
he was caught and was made an example of, and it was sad really because for me, even though it doesn't, for me, it's no excuse. Well, he's not the only one doing it. I don't like to have the feeling that the manager is only transferring, going to bring in player A instead of that player who might be better suited to the surroundings, the tactics or what have you. But he's going to go for that player because that player, if he brings in that player, it comes with a little bit of that in your pocket, and that's not good.
Hey,
That's a conflict. That's a
I,
conflict of interest.
I don't even have to say fucking allegedly because I know it fucking happened, right? When fucking Solskjaer, when fucking the manager of Cardiff, I know it fucking happened. I wouldn't even say fucking allegedly, right? He was given a fucking purse for the January transfer window. He brought in 14 fucking Norwegian players all represented by the same fucking agent. And you're trying to tell me that he wasn't on a fucking take? It was just unfortunate. I think two things with Graham. It was coming to the end anyway. And I think that Arsenal fucking just released the info to the press to fucking end the fucking relationship. That's my
You think
opinion.
so? Really?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do.
I mean, I was sad when it happened because I really loved George Graham.
Yeah.
I liked his style. You could see that there was that respect amongst the team. But then when I was watching, I can't remember what it was. I think it might have been there's a Tony Adams documentary on YouTube. It's about 40 minutes long about him and about the drink driving and all of that. I think it might be that. It might be the Invincibles. I'm not sure which one it is, but the players are talking about the Tuesday Club and the drinking and blah 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 blah. But then when it goes to George Graham, and they've told him the extent of how much some of the players were drinking, he generally looks like he had no idea. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, wow. I had the impression that George Graham knew where the players were at every minute of the day. That's the impression that I kind of had of him. But sometimes the impression from us outside looking in isn't always what it's about.
Oh, exactly.
And another, just to touch on that even further, since Mikel Arteta has been the manager of Arsenal, for all of the good things he's done and all of his failings, the one thing that I was under the impression, or the one thing that I was led to believe that he had got right, and that's by looking at body language and articles and the way that the club are promoting it, was that the culture around the club was really good. You know, the culture around the club. There might be things on the pitch that need to be fixed. We may be short of a player here and there. There may be question marks over player X, but the culture side of it, we're all on the same page. We're all pulling in the same direction. So it was a real surprise to me when I was listening to Harry over on Chronicles of Laguna in the week, and he revealed, the first I'd heard of it, that Arsenal have brought in an outside company. I think they're called Made People, or People Made.
I heard you say this last night on last night's show.
To come into Arsenal, and basically, you know, their job is to bring back the heritage of the club, so that everybody at the club understands the heritage and the history of Arsenal, a link between. And I thought to myself, when I heard that, I was like, I thought that we had all that sewn up. But then you got to think about it as well. I mean, there were so many people that had worked at Arsenal for many, many, many years that got laid off during the pandemic. Maybe they were replaced with people from Kelly's recruitment that, you know, don't know nothing.
Hey,
I don't know.
have a go recruitment agencies, you cheeky bastard. Do you know what I mean? Jesus Christ, having them fucking pop, Jesus.
But you know what?
I get it. But you know,
do you know what? The more that I think about it, though, right, Ad? The more that I think about it, and it was James, when I was on with him on a podcast earlier in the week, he mentioned that maybe this isn't about bringing back the heritage and all of that. Maybe this is a rebranding exercise. Maybe this is KSC thinking, okay, this is what our vision is now for Arsenal moving forward. And after 3 months or 6 months of this consultancy company being in there, when it's all finished, there'll be a new what do you call it, mission statement. And underneath the mission statement, there'll be like 6 bullet points of our new values and focus moving forward. And that worries me, that it's not about links to the past, that it's really some kind of rebranding and repackaging of the future.
That could well be the case, but the first thing on a fucking rebrand should be to turn the fucking cannon the right way around.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I noticed that. I've noticed that.
Right,
you had one job. You had one job.
Yeah, and same with Cardiff. I cannot fucking buy a Cardiff shirt with that ridiculous fucking Chinese, Malaysian, or whatever fucking bastard fucking badge it is on there. Anyway, Stefan says those Arsenal, Everton, Liverpool sides could have ruled Europe if it wasn't for a ban. I completely agree. And let's not forget, Wimbledon was robbed of Europe. Coventry were robbed of Europe. Even Oxford. I forgot about Oxford winning the Milk Cup against QPR 3-0.
The Milk Cup. Fucking hell, that's one from the past, isn't it? The old Milk Cup.
You know, yeah, the cannon.
We're just talking about George Graham, though. You know, one of the memories that I don't know why that I've always have of George Graham. It was. Do you remember when Paul Merson, when all of that came out about the gambling, the alcoholism, you know, the cocaine, and all that all came out? I remember that press conference so well when it came on the news, and Paul Merson sat there at that desk, and George Graham is sat right next to him, you know. And you know, Paul Merson's he's in tears, isn't he? Telling everybody about what's been going on. But you could see the expression on George Graham's face was one of like it was his son.
Yeah, disappointing.
But wanting to be there for him. You know, I'm not going to just throw you out there. Don't worry, I'll be out there with you when you have to face the cameras. And even when Tony Adams got done and went to prison for drink driving and that, you know, George Graham's reaction to the FA as well about the way the FA. It very much so. I really remembered that about him. You know, there were two things about George Graham that he had, and because I was younger as well, he was like a fatherly figure. Yeah. You know, my mum and dad had split up when I was 4. You know, and George Graham was, you know, the disciplinarian.
Oh, I get it. I get, you know, with Everton as well. Very much similar kind of
Howard Kendall.
Exactly. I interviewed Kevin Ratcliffe last week or week before now, and he was going on about you know, the influence not just on the pitch, but off the pitch. Howard Kendall done not for him, but the likes of bloody Graham Sharp and all the others, Neville Southall and so on. Incredible though. First time I went to Highbury was 1987.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
Everton, they won the league that year, but they did. It was a shit game, proper shit game, right? Don't know if you remember this, right? And
I'm really
Wayne
bad on
Clark,
dates. I'm really bad on dates and results and stuff like that.
Now, Wayne Clark lobbed John Lukic from about fucking 40 yards. It was a shit game, pissing down. I just wonder if you were there or not.
No, I don't remember that.
All right, no way. So basically, I fucking give Arsenal my hard-earned money as a fucking 8-year-old kid or whatever. And, an Arsenal fan like yourself couldn't be fucking asked.
For me, I went to Highbury quite a lot in the 90s. I grew up with just my mum. So when I was younger, I didn't really have anyone that could take me. The first football match that I ever went to was at Crystal Palace, Newcastle, which I've told you the story. My old man, Newcastle connection.
Yeah.
So he made sure the first football game that I went to featured Newcastle. But I mean, I live in Peckham. Am I going to support a fucking team all the way up there? How am I going to get up there? Do you know what I mean?
Crystal Palace is a fucking bastard of a ground to get to.
And I was kind of considering Crystal Palace because I think, well, they're local, but I hadn't made my mind up, And then he took me again the following week, and it was Crystal Palace Arsenal, and I was now paying actually more attention, not to the environment of all these hairy ass geezers shouting next to me. And they had rattles. Remember them rattles and shit? It was back then. Yeah. People had fucking them things, and there was like this. It wasn't seating. We were stood up. And every time something happened, someone would pick me up and hold me up so I could see, and I didn't really like it. But when I went the next time and it was Crystal Palace Arsenal, I started to take actually more interest in what was going on. And it was Liam Brady for me. He was everywhere, Liam Brady. And I just came away after that thinking, I want to be an Arsenal supporter.
Right. Well, do you want me to give it a little I'm going to give it away anyway because it's all done and dusted. Everything agreed. The next person in which I'm going to be interviewing, next former footballer, is a former Arsenal player, but he's more he was more renowned for Palace. You got 3 guesses.
Well, when I think of Arsenal and Palace, I automatically think of Ian Wright. But for me, Ian Wright,
you know what? I wish you would Ian Wright, but it's not. I'll be honest with you. He's more known for Palace when he went to Arsenal. Because he was like Eddie McGoldrick.
Oh, Eddie McGoldrick! Fucking hell, yeah. He kind of played on the wing and sometimes as a fullback, right?
Yeah, basically, very much like Phil Neville, I suppose, because he was so fucking versatile.
Yeah, he was a bit of a utility player.
Have a proper position.
I remember Eddie McGoldrick. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've
not heard that name in a long time. I can't really remember his area. Do you know what I mean? But I do remember Eddie McGoldrick.
Well, wasn't he back at Palace now?
Who was he? Who signed him? Was he a George Graham signing or a Bruce Rioch signing?
Well, I'm going to have to do my homework on that. I'm going to have to do my homework on that. But
I think if it was a Bruce, if he was a Graham signing, I think he might have been right near the end.
Yeah, maybe like what's that one? When Jimmy Carter type of.
Jimmy Carter, right? Yeah. So when you got him on then?
It's going to be next week. Hopefully at the beginning, if not. But I love fucking chatting to former players because it's our era of fucking watching football, Stan.
Yeah.
I Warren Barton the other day, and he was
right.
And he was on about fucking playing for Maidstone, playing for fucking Wimbledon.
You still got the same hair? You still got that big head of hair?
Yeah.
Has he?
No, but it's people have asked me to get fucking current players, but their PR fucking machines will never fucking have it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But right. It's been over an hour, Stan.
Yeah.
It's been over an hour. What are you up to the rest of the day?
What am I up to for the rest of the day? Well, it's just coming up to 3:30. So I might go and sit on the balcony for a little while I've done all the work that I needed to do for today. The missus will be finishing work in hopefully an hour, and I might take her out for a cheeky happy hour.
Oh, look at you. Hey, I'm not
Luck,
paying
no,
you for
luck, no,
I'm not
lucky
paying
her.
you for this fucking show. Do you know what I mean? Fucking cheeky bastard. I'm not paying for that meal.
So, you got plans? What's up? What you looking to
Well, it's
do to
fucking
this
half
rest
2 in
of
the
the
morning
weekend?
here. It's half 2 in
Oh,
the
right,
morning,
yeah.
you know?
And
So,
yeah, so for me, I'm going to get up because Arsenal kicked over here. Arsenal kick off. I think it's 4:30. I'm not getting up for that. It just ruins my day. But I'm going to
yeah.
get up early for about 7:30, so I can catch the boxing, which I think will be 8 a.m. my time because I want to watch the
Oh, good.
boxing.
Yeah.
Have breakfast watching the boxing, and then I can rewatch the game, Man United, because we've got
I
Man
think
United,
Arsenal,
right?
I think Arsenal will rip them a new one, if I'm honest here.
I see. This is the thing. I gave us nothing going in for Chelsea, nothing at all, Brownie. Right? I
Yeah.
had no idea that was going to happen, but I always felt that looking past the Chelsea one, that we would definitely get something off United because they're in worse trouble than we are. And listen, all you got to do is make Man United run, and you've won the game because they don't like running at the minute.
Yeah.
They're strolling around. They don't want to run, but I don't like it that I'm going into it confident. It will probably mean I get egg on my face because I gave us nothing for Chelsea, and look how that turned out. So,
I'll tell you what, before we do go, did you ever go to the cup finals in Cardiff? If so, what were your experience?
no, never
No?
been to. No, the only time I went to Wales, mate, was when I was in the army at the Brecon Beacons, and I never
Oh,
went
yeah.
back. So I've never been back voluntarily since that experience.
Yeah. I actually grew up
Senny Bridge,
within the
Senny
Brecon
Bridge. You know
Beacon
Senny
National
Bridge.
Park.
You know Senny Bridge.
Yeah. I
There,
know it
yeah.
well. I know it
Yeah,
well.
I know it well. I know a lot of. I know nearly every blade of grass up there, mate. It's fucking horrible. Fucking horrible.
No, I grew up in the actual Brecon Beacons National Park, the top end of Merthyr in Dowlish.
Okay,
Kevin Dowlish type of thing. So
okay.
many times I would go on my bike to Brecon and then get a bus back. I
Did you see
fucked it.
like?
I
Did you see
fucked.
him
By the
running
time I
around?
got
Or did
Brecon, I was absolutely fucked. Do you know what I
you
mean?
see him running around on their manoeuvres and all that?
Did you go to a Brecon Jazz Festival?
No.
No. It's too
No, I
fucking
was only.
mad.
I said I was only there for. I was only there for the army and stuff, man. At any time.
Yeah, I know. No, hang on. So you basically shit out. It was too hard for you.
They don't let you out at night. I was there like like no going out at night. It's like they take you there and they drop you off in the middle of fucking nowhere for a week and then come pick you up. You run around fucking playing soldiers. You don't see pubs. Well, there was one time where we were doing a thing called you do a thing called escape and evasion. Where
Okay.
they wake you up, they take like everything away from you, and they drop you off in the middle of nowhere with a compass and a map, and then you've got people looking for you, and it's your job that you got to not get caught in the middle of the night. Do you know what I mean? And we did find a fucking pub, like in the middle of nowhere on a little road. I fuck knows what it was, and there was a pub, so we were in there for a while. But
I
maybe
actually
but I think that the people that run the pub are probably wise to it and have been given the tip because I think they made a phone call and we got caught in the pub.
I actually went to
Caught
Sennybridge.
in the pub.
I went to Sennybridge for fucking work experience. Right?
Oh yeah.
Proper work. Yeah, basically, I couldn't give a fucking score. Right? And it was for fucking dead end fuckers. Right? You go on a fucking work experience, fucking Sennybridge. Right? I come back, fucking black and blue fucking ribs. Do you know what I mean? I'd taken a piss and they beat fucking to me, they did. But never mind. My mum was going to fucking make a complaint. But nah. Nah, I thought,
Write a
no.
strong letter. Write a strongly worded letter.
BS says Story Arms. I remember Story Arms. Fucking hell. Do you not remember Story Arms?
No.
Story Arms.
What's
Try to
that?
go to Story Arms fucking when it's snowing. I'd fucking go down in his sleigh. Fucking hell. You'll end up fucking in Cardiff. Do you know what I mean? Right. On that note, let's knock it on your head. Thank you very much, Stan. Much appreciated, my friend.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I had a beer while we were talking. It was a good bit of chinwag and catching up, and good to see a few names that I recognise in the chat box as well.
And where can people catch you?
Catch me there, man, at Stan_the_man68 on Twitter, and you can catch me on Thursdays, every Thursday on the Arsenal Fan Circle. I'm sure you guys know where that is. and I'm here, there, and everywhere post-match. Sometimes with Danny on the Birdcap Wonderland. Sometimes I'm over with Fergus on Guns and Yellow Ribbons, and sometimes I'm over with Rich on Over and Over and Over Again on the Tuesday Clinic. So you can catch me in a few places.
Well, enjoy your weekend.
I will. You too, mate.
And speak to you soon, my friend. Yeah.
You take care, mate.
You take care. Many thanks, guys, in the chat. Much appreciated. I do apologize that I didn't get too many of the comments in the chat. I was just fascinated. Me and Stan come from the same era of watching football, and I was just fascinated, really. So many thanks, Stan. Much appreciated, my friend.
You're welcome.
Take care. Hasta luego.